Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform, our platform, to become your spiritual server. And welcome Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Aquarius Rising too, or anyone who just wants to hang out with the Aquarian Tribe and develop that energy. To your August 2018 report, thank you so much for joining me in this video. And what is happening for you, Aquarius, this month? What has happened to you? What has happened? We're already halfway through the month, right? Well, your ruling planet has gone retrograde in Taurus. This is your 4th house. So this is definitely going to be a time where you're going to be kind of looking at your family situation, maybe even looking at your childhood, and really trying to find more value and more things to appreciate in this space. And actually, I think that'll be a very positive thing for you all. You know, I would definitely say that to the Aquariuses, now this card actually came up, that you definitely want to look at your childhood in a more compassionate way. And even though Uranus is a bit of a detached energy, it is your sign, but it's really kind of about you like re-examining your past or re-examining your childhood with compassion and wisdom and an openness to being grateful for where you've come from, where you've been. We do have the card of authority that just came up though, as I was shuffling. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. I think in many ways this has to deal with the fact that Mars went retrograde in your sign. It's going back into Capricorn, your 12th house, and then it will come back into your sign. So you definitely are going to be feeling more of that spark and that energy when Mars is coming forward, especially when it hits, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 degrees of your sign. That's really when you're going to really feel the takeoff, even though it's still going to be in shadow period. That's going to be when Aquariuses and Aries actually kind of really take off and feel more motivated and feel more powerful. But yeah, this authority card is really beautiful because it's really going to, you are the authority of your own life. You decide, what you attract and what you bring into existence and what you can co-create. And yes, there are, of course, outside factors and there are things that seem outside of our control, but you do control your reactions to those things. And that's actually how you can gain a sense of authority, like I said, but it's coming from a receptive place, a wise place, a loving place, so that when things happen to you, instead of trying to assert your authority and try to, be, nasty about it, or maybe trying to, assert your dominance or your ego so much, and you're not really an ego-driven sign, but to be more receptive, wise, loving, more open, more compassionate. We do, of course, have that new moon solar eclipse that we're just coming off of. And then we're going to be feeling the energies of this for a while. And this, of course, for you was happening in your 7th house of relationships. So for you, relationships are definitely going to be shifting forever. They're going through a major transformation right now, where you're really going to be making decisions and taking action based off of these decisions within your relationships. But the first relationship that you want to, of course, focus on is the relationship that you have with yourself. So you really want to kind of assume this position of authority with your relationship with yourself and take responsibility for the actions that you are taking. But it shows some self-love and some self-compassion. If you find yourself kind of caught in particular ways of beings or particular behaviors, that's why Mars is right. That's why I had to retrograde back into your 12th house. So there was some karma stuff that had to be cleared out. There was some karma that had to be reviewed before it comes back into your sign. So and then by the time Mars goes into Pisces later on, you're really going to be feeling the magic and stuff. And really your actions are going to denote magic. But right now, this is a time for you to really, accept personal responsibility for your own happiness and become an authority for your own happiness. Okay? Let's get into the rest of the cards. We don't have a lot of energies going forward. We do have Jupiter in Scorpio going forward, which for you is, your 10th house. that card wanted to come out. It's the World card, so this is definitely dealing with, definitely dealing with the whole Mars going back into, Capricorn, your 12th house. So definitely a very karmatic time, and the World card usually speaks to the completion of something, and it's with Mars going back there, you are kind of going to be feeling like you're going to be wanting to, of course, manifest something, but it's really going to be, you're not really going to know what it is, because since it's the 12th house and it's hidden, it's spiritual, you are really going to be kind of working on your path and where you're going and your legacy. And like I said, Jupiter is in Scorpio, which for you is, it's the 10th house. So this is definitely speaking to legacy. That's one of the only planets going forward. The only other planet going forward besides the Sun and the Moon, which always go forward, is Venus in Libra, which for you is the 9th house. So this has to do with the people that you connect with. Do they reflect your belief systems? But also, you have to check whether or not you have to check your own belief systems. Like, do you have any self-limiting belief systems, or do you are you worried? This is also, I like to think of it as looking for hope and really looking for the joy. Because I like to think of Sagittarius as representing joy. I mean, Leo is, but I like to think that Sagittarius is joy as well. So with Venus in Libra, this is really about you. Opening up to a belief structure and opening up to the many possibilities that are out there and connecting with other people that really remind you of who you are. Let's get into these cards that just popped up here. All right. Okay. So we have the Empress card. We have the King of Wands in reverse. We have the Three of Swords in the reverse. Scorpio just got this card. We have the King of Swords upright, so this is your card. And then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. There's kind of a similar theme going on with you and Scorpio, and this makes sense because this new moon solar eclipse did happen in your 7th house. The Empress here is asking you to really find your creative side, tap into Gaia, tap into spirit. And really, I love this card because it shows a bunch of butterflies, and butterflies are a sign of metamorphosis and transformation. So this is going to be a time where you are going to transform your life through love. Doesn't that sound so beautiful? I know it's kind of funny because you're opposite of Leo, so sometimes you want to get that love stuff away from me. But this is really definitely going to be a time, not that you want it to get away from you, but you're a little bit more detached and aloof about the love that you show. But this is actually going to be a time where, by expressing your love and really embodying your transformation through unconditional love, that's actually going to make you feel more creative. We do have the King of Wands here in reverse, so this could be dealing, you could be dealing with a Leo here. Well, we have two kings. We have one that's reverse, and we have one that's upright. The King of Wands could be, an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, that you may or may not be dealing with. But since the other, reverse cards are the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups, I feel like this is probably a past relationship that this person may try to come back into your life right now, but you're kind of like, no, I'm done with that. And I feel like you can, if this is someone that, this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to everybody, what I'm about to say, but this could be someone trying to come back into your life, and you're going to be like, no, I'm done. I already left that situation. We ran our course, and, you probably won't have to let this person down gently, as gently as you can. For those of you who are coupled right now, this could signal to you are experiencing some transformation within your relationship right now, and maybe even contemplating on whether or not this is the right person for you. But like I said, with the Three of Swords in reverse, maybe it's not as bad as we think. And with the Eight of Cups in reverse, it's also like, yeah, this could be about you wanting to leave behind an emotionally stressful situation. But since it's reversed, it's like maybe it's just like you got to check your perceptions right now. With so many retrograde planets, and even though we have very positive planets moving forward, it's hard right now, especially for those of us who are in relationships and committed relationships. It is hard because we are projecting onto each other a lot right now, and it's tough. So like I said, you're going to know more about what to do as planets start to come direct. Mercury's going to come direct this week. Mars is going to come direct at the end of the month. We have Saturn and Pluto coming direct in September. So planets are going to start coming direct. You're going to start to get more of a clear picture on where to go, and who you feel like you should be with, if you should be alone, if you feel like, this is the right person for you, etc. But, the Three of Wands was also reversed in Scorpios on reading. So if you happen to be dealing with the Scorpio, it might not necessarily just be the end, but your relationship is definitely going through a major transformation right now. And it's not necessarily easy. It's not necessarily easy to deal with. Let's see what else we have going on here. The King of Swords, though, here is saying that you really want to stand on your truth. The only two cards here that were in that 5-card spread that were upright were the Empress and the King of Swords. So you're really being asked to express your truth, It's also these downturn cards could also just be talking about maybe there's just different aspects. If you happen to be coupled right now, Aquarius, there could be aspects of your current relationship that have been emotionally scarring that you kind of need to just let go of. This card that just popped out it's bridged over the King of Swords, and it's connecting the Three of Swords to the Eight of Cups. This is the Four of Cups. So yes, there's definitely some type of disillusionment within your relationship, or with maybe a person that's trying to come back into your life. The Four of Cups, maybe they're trying to offer themselves to you, but you're kind of like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I really want to do that again. Like, I don't know. And yeah, you could actually be that Aquarius. You can be sitting down, one is like, if you happen to be coupled, it's weird that I feel like Scorpio and Aquarius, I feel like all the fixed signs, like the theme is really relationships, and the mutable signs, the theme was perceptions and how they see things. But I feel like for the fixed signs, it's really a lot about relationships. So for you, it's like with this Four of Cups energy here, you can be, if you happen to be coupled, you really can be thinking about all the times that your partner hurt you. Even if your partner has been great, even if they've been really supportive, you can be thinking about all the times that your partner hurt you. And that can actually kind of mess you up, because if there are no serious red flags right now, I would say to not take any type of action on anything like that. If you feel like you need to split or break up this relationship. If you aren't coupled, then I want to say the same thing that I told Scorpio. Even if you are feeling someone right now, even if there's someone that you want to be with, wait until Venus goes direct in Libra. Wait. Just do it. Thank me later. We have the Ace of Wands here, and we also have the Fool card and the Three of Pentacles. The Fool and the Three of Pentacles. So, the Fool card in reverse with the Three of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands is kind of interesting. Because it can be, the Fool in reverse is like, you may be a little in over your head, you may be a little naive, and with the Three of Pentacles, it definitely speaks to, like, I like to think of the Three of Pentacles as like someone who has completed like their first major project, and it's making them feel good, it's making them feel positive about how things are going forward, and they're really like kind of coming into their own. But with it being reversed, it's kind of like maybe there have been failed projects, or maybe there have been failed, or maybe you haven't really manifested, maybe you haven't exactly manifested the life that you really want to experience, so that might create a little bit of frustration. And maybe I think what it is maybe you're a little naive about how life can look. Not that anything can't happen, because anything can happen, anything is possible. You are infinite, right? But there are steps to this. The Ace of Wands here, though, is providing some positive energy, which is saying that you do have the power, you have the wand, you can wave your magic wand and just create things. This is why, like I said, it's going to be really awesome for you when Mars comes into Pisces, because that's going to be the time when your actions are going to start to do magic. But right now, this is a time where, especially with Mars coming into your 12th house, especially with the South Node in your sign, this is a time for you to really not try and force things. This is a time for inner work. This is a time for you to not really hyper react to external circumstances, external experiences, to not freak out, I should have said that to Scorpio. This is not a time for you to really freak out right now. And probably things aren't as bad as they seem. Okay? Things probably aren't as bad as they seem. But let's continue drawing cards to see what's going on here. Yeah, this reading has a similar flair to Scorpio. Scorpio's was a little bit harsher. I'm not even gonna lie. But it does have a similar feel to it. We have the Six of Swords in reverse popping out. So yeah, you may be feeling like you want to leave a situation behind, but I feel like this is really a mental thought wave, a mental pattern. This card, we also have the Eight of Pentacles. So actually, that's kind of nice, coming after the Three of Pentacles. So this is saying that I think you need to really drop this mental game that you've been playing with yourself. And when you drop this mental game that you play with yourself, you're going to see that, oh, I really have been manifesting. I really have been working towards something. I really have been creating positive change in my life. And interesting how in the last one, what was it? What was the card that I drew? Oh, no, it was with Leo. I drew... I can't remember exactly what activation oracle card it was, but it reminded me of a scarab beetle. And for some reason with this authority card, I reminded of a hummingbird. Like, this is its wings right here, and that's like its tail, and like this would be its face, but it's kind of pointing down. I'm reminded of a hummingbird. And hummingbirds, it's actually a totem animal of Taurus. But the hummingbird teaches us to... I want to give the description that's on the card, but I want to tap in and give my own description of what the hummingbird is. And it's kind of interesting. I've never have gotten up close to a hummingbird, but I'm assuming it gained its name because it's wings that flap really, really, really fast. And I've gotten up close to them, but I don't know if it's because of the flapping of its wings real fast that creates like this humming effect. So I think really what this is for you is that you kind of want to, emotionally, you definitely are feeling a bit of an upheaval. That's Uranus in your 4th house. But you're really going through a revolution of your emotions and your foundation. So I think what this is that, the hummingbird teaches us to really find the sweetness, to find the sweetness in the small things. The hummingbird is a small bird, but it's, whenever you see a hummingbird, your eyes light up. It's like, oh, look, it's a hummingbird. It's a hummingbird. And its wings flap so fast, and its heart beats so fast. That's the interesting thing about a hummingbird. I think it has one of the fastest heartbeats out of any animal, and it's kind of crazy. So they're actually, and this is the interesting thing, though. Aquarius, you might, if you happen to be coupled, you might be with a person who does make your heart beat really fast like that. But there could also be different situations that might come up, different temptations that might come up that also make your heart beat really fast. And you need to be careful that you don't really, if you're coupled and you really love this person, but there's someone else who's come back into your life, I feel like that's what these cards down here is about. The King of Wands and the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups could be about if you're coupled, someone might be coming back into your life right now, or someone might be trying to come into your life that might be trying to woo you, and it may even give your heart the flutters, but you have to be discerning. You make sure that you turn away from infidelity. Make sure that you turn away from that, because that's not going to bring you sweetness in your life. That's not going to really bring you a deeper appreciation. Unless your partner is, unless your partner just really doesn't support you, causes you, and all relationships are going to go through their issues, right? But unless the person is like seriously emotionally, physically, and mentally abusive, first of all, if someone is trying to woo you outside of a relationship and you happen to be in an emotionally abusive relationship, you probably shouldn't do that either, because that's just going to invite a whole flurry of emotions that you're going to have to work through. And more than likely, that person, I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I'm feeling it, they probably just want to get in your pants. Like, they probably don't really have good intentions. They may even see that you are, it's like, oh, that person, he doesn't treat you the way that I could treat you, or, and it goes the other way, she doesn't treat you the way that I could treat you, it goes both ways. But this person, their intentions might not be in the right place. They may just be looking for a quick piece. They may just be looking for a quick bang. So you kind of have to, have some discernment with that one. If you aren't, like I said, that's if you are a couple, and I'm feeling like a lot of these have to do with relationships. If you aren't coupled, like I said, this can play out within your family sphere. This can play out within your friends. This could play out with colleagues at work. These two cards fell out, and this card is okay. Yeah, they're both touching the Empress, but one card is like exactly perpendicular 90 degrees to it, and another one's going at this angle. The angled card is the Five of Pentacles, and the perpendicular card is actually the Ace of Swords. So this is actually the way that you feel creative, and the way that you, like, the Five of Pentacles, it's like you are not really feeling super confident. You are not feeling valuable. But the way that you learn to feel valuable is by expressing your truth. Expressing your truth. And not being afraid to it. And becoming an authority for that. Having this... Hold on, where is it? Right here. I have this thing right here. And I actually encourage you, Aquarius, to do this if you can. I have this list of vibrations that I call into my being. And I think for you, it actually would be really powerful to do this at the start of your day, to call particular vibrations into your being. And I'm actually going to read this for you all. And this is just an example. But this is actually a way that you can begin to feel better about where you're heading in life, and feel like you are more of an authority on your life, and how you can really begin to co-create with this universe, and really see that really things are moving forward in a powerful and even positive way. Doesn't necessarily, that doesn't come with its difficulties, especially if you are in relationships and those type of themes. But if you can call these vibrations into your being, you really will be setting yourself up for powerful, positive change. But what I do here is I read this every morning, and I'm trying to read it every night as well. I call into my being in this moment jovial abundance, immense gratitude, peaceful movement, miraculous moments, infinite opportunities, serious joy, infectious inspiration, motivating courage, strong conviction, unconditional love, beautiful being, warm acceptance, happy thoughts, emotional intelligence, simple being, simply happy, uncomplicated joy, personal truth, universal truth, compassionate connection, radiant love, amazing mornings, gratitude exuding. And those are, I guess you can call them affirmations and stuff, but I feel like for you, actually, affirmations is actually going to be really, really positive and really, really powerful. So if you happen to already have affirmations, cool. And that's the thing about this. With these readings that have been heavy relationship centric, know that primarily the relationship that you are working on is with yourself. And whatever issues or things that you're projecting onto your partner, know that they are really just bringing that aspect out in you that needs to be examined and looked at. And, that's okay. We all have things that we have to work on, But yeah, that's the relationship that you're primarily working on. We have the card of conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. So, yes. So, how are you conceiving your world right now? How are you birthing your world right now? Are you an authority for your own happiness? Or are you outsourcing that happiness to other people? Are you an authority on your happiness, on your joy, on your truth? Or do you outsource that to other people, other relationships? Think about that. Not that other people can't make you happy, or at least bring out happiness within you, or cause happiness, or cause flutters within your heart, and cause butterflies in your heart. It's not that people can't do that for you, but you create your own happiness. You are an authority for your happiness, Aquarius. Everything else is just an incredible, beautiful, miraculous cherry on top. And that's the way it should be. That is it for your reading, Aquarius. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to theaquarianadepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.